Narcissistic people see themselves as highly important, disregard others' feelings, and constantly seek validation. They use manipulation, lies, and emotional abuse to control those around them. While they may appear confident and charming on the surface, deep down, they struggle with insecurity and a need for approval. In relationships, narcissists tend to dominate and exploit others for their own benefit. Their greatest fear is losing control and feeling insignificant. To avoid this, they constantly seek attention and drain others' energy through various psychological tactics. A relationship with a narcissist is often exhausting and harmful, as they do not care about others' emotions or needs, only their own interests. Engaging in direct conflict with a narcissist is pointless, as confrontation is exactly what they want. The best way to weaken their power is through calculated indifference. Show them, without saying a word, that they no longer have control over you. True freedom is not just walking away, but cutting emotional ties, reclaiming your power, and forcing them to realize they can do nothing about it. If someone has diminished your self-confidence, you must learn how to become untouchable. It won't be easy. Narcissists will sense the shift, panic when they lose control and try to regain it. But victory comes when their world collapses and you finally break free. A narcissist does not need to destroy you physically, because their real power lies in subtle, yet destructive manipulation. They distort your perception, toy with your emotions, twist your memories, and make you doubt every decision. Many fall into the trap, believing logical discussions can change a narcissist. But here lies their greatest weakness. They thrive on controlling your mind and provoking reactions. The only way to defeat a narcissist is to deny them what they seek. Arguing, proving them wrong, or trying to save them is futile. They will never admit fault or change. Yelling or responding with aggression only fuels them. A narcissist does not want to be saved. They only want to control the narrative. The best counterattack is to make them feel like they're talking to a brick wall. When a narcissist gets no reaction, they lose their power. They will try different tactics, playing the victim, provoking guilt, or creating drama. But when their manipulations hit an empty void, they become powerless. This is not just about ignoring them. It's about removing their influence completely. When they try to provoke or manipulate you, do not respond with logic or anger. Instead, give them a neutral, emotionless reply that makes them doubt their own power. Say things like, "If that's how you feel, that's your opinion," or "I have nothing to say about this." These aren't just words. They are weapons designed to cut off their control. Your body language must also send a clear message. If a narcissist sees that their words do not affect you, their tactics lose power. If they try to make you feel guilty, let their words fade into nothing. If they try to anger you, meet their rage with silent indifference. The moment they realize they no longer control your emotions is the moment they lose the game. Phrases narcissists love to use and how to respond. Narcissists have certain favorite phrases they use to manipulate others. What are they? One of their go-to lines is, "I think you should see a therapist." Hearing this can leave you confused. You might start questioning yourself, and could they be right? Narcissists typically use this phrase when you try to address a problem with them. If you ask them to be more respectful or to keep their word, they quickly deflect by saying this. You make a valid point, but the narcissist immediately shifts the focus onto you, painting you as the problematic one. Then, acting like an expert, they suggest you need professional help. As a result, the problem is no longer about them. You start feeling guilty and even wonder, am I really overreacting? This is classic psychological manipulation. The narcissist makes you doubt yourself. How to respond to this phrase? "I'm mentally fine." If you're feeling good too, then everything is okay. At first, this may seem like a simple response, but it carries a hidden message. Don't project your issues onto me, deal with them yourself. Narcissists understand this message very well. Phrase number 2, what have you even achieved in life? This phrase often comes up in arguments. Narcissists need to belittle you to make themselves feel superior. They may appear confident, but deep inside they struggle with insecurity. Sigmund Freud once said that babies believe the world revolves around them. But when an adult still sees themselves as the center of the universe, that's where the real problem begins. How to respond to this phrase? I'm happy with my life because I'm living it on my own terms. I'm independent and content. This response directly targets the narcissist's need for admiration. They constantly crave validation from others, so when you make it clear that you don't depend on them for approval, they completely lose control. Third phrase, you're just jealous of my success. When do narcissists use this phrase? For example, when you ask them to be more honest or point out that they constantly praise themselves. Whenever you make a valid argument, they immediately accuse you of jealousy to silence you. Response, I only focus on my own life. I'm not interested in others' lives. This response disrupts the narcissist's entire plan. They want to believe that your attention is on them. But this statement makes it clear that you have no interest in their life. Fourth phrase, without me, you'd be nothing. This phrase is a direct attempt to belittle you. Narcissists always need to feel superior and make others feel worthless. According to Freud, narcissists devalue others to keep themselves in the spotlight. Response, I existed before you and I will exist after you. Don't worry. This response is devastating for a narcissist because it makes them realize they are not the center of your world and that you don't need them. Fifth phrase, despite everything, I'm happy to be with you. At first glance, this may seem like a compliment, but in reality, the narcissist is making it sound like they are making a great sacrifice by being with you. However, narcissists form relationships solely for their own benefit. They need you, but they will never admit it outright. Response, it's valuable that we complement each other's flaws. I'm also happy to help you. This response turns their manipulation game back on them. What do all these phrases have in common? Narcissists always project their own issues onto you. This is known as the mirror principle. They're not actually talking about you, but rather revealing their own insecurities. You should see a therapist. They are the one who actually needs therapy. What have you even achieved in life? They feel like a failure. You're just jealous of my success. They are the one who envies others' success. Without me, you'd be nothing. Without you, they feel like nobody. Despite everything, I'm happy to be with you. They feel inadequate deep inside. What should you do? 1. Stop blaming yourself. The problem is with the narcissist, not you. 2. Limit contact with them as much as possible. 3. Spend time with people who uplift you and prioritize your self-confidence. Once you understand the narcissist's games, you will never fall into their trap again. Remember, silence is the sharpest dagger for a narcissist. It forces them to face their greatest fear, irrelevance. They see themselves as the center of the universe. Every word they say must have an impact and every action must provoke a reaction. But when you stop reacting, you plunge them into nothingness. And this is more powerful than any form of revenge. However, just resisting is not enough. Narcissists don't retreat without a fight. When they realize their tactics no longer work, they will find new ways to lure you back into their trap. As a last resort, they will test different strategies to get a reaction from you. This is the moment you must stand even stronger. Because if you fall for their game even once, they will regain their power. And all your efforts to break free will be wasted. Think of this as a psychological chess game. The best move is not to attack, but to leave them without options. If a narcissist thrives on your reaction, then giving no reaction at all leaves them powerless. They need emotional fuel to maintain control, and when they can't get it from you, they will be forced to find a new target. When this happens, you will have permanently broken their grip over you. Never engage with a narcissist as if they are rational or on the same level as you. The problem is that by trying to have a logical conversation with them, you are still playing their game. Every defense, every attempt to prove them wrong, only strengthens their control, not because they are right, but because they still have you engaged. They are not searching for the truth. They simply want to pull you into their dynamic and force you to play by their rules. Every move they make serves one purpose: manipulation. But everything changes when you stop reacting. Instead of trying to fix them, stand before them like an empty mirror. When their tactics go unanswered and they lose control, that's when everything shifts. This is not about fighting or attacking. It's about turning their manipulation back onto them. They will try to blame you when you do nothing. Don't rush to prove yourself. Don't panic. Don't wear yourself out trying to prove what is already clear. Instead, let their arguments speak for themselves. If they are trying to trap you, stay calm. Don't explain anything. Don't try to understand them. They have no intention of being understood. Just return their emptiness back to them. Show them that their words are hitting an impenetrable wall. Manipulation cannot exist without a response. Every time their attempts to draw you into their game hit an impenetrable wall, they will be forced to retreat, not because they have changed, but because their strategies are no longer working. Their control depends entirely on your reaction. If you stop reacting, they lose their power over you. And in dealing with narcissists, don't just use words, stand tall with your body language too. Show neither anger nor submission. Present calm and self-confidence. When they realize their words no longer have an effect, they will attempt to change their strategies. They will try to find new ways to provoke you. However, if you maintain unshakable calmness, they will be forced to retreat because they will have no other options. There's no need to fight with them. There's no need to shout or prove anything. You just need to stop being manipulated. Stop giving them access to your mind, energy, and time. Manipulation only survives where it finds space, and when it can't find that space, its power collapses. Their game becomes meaningless. The most important point is this: the discomfort they feel cannot last long. At first, they will double their efforts to get you to react. They will intensify the drama. But if you maintain your composure and refuse to give in to their need for control, they will be forced to retreat. Never forget this. There is one thing manipulators have been running from their entire lives: their own insignificance. At first, they will try to get a reaction from you, attempt to provoke you with new tactics and look for weaknesses. But if you remain determined and don't give them what they want, the game will be over, because this is no longer a fight they can win. And at that moment, you take back your power completely, without argument, without revenge, simply with the reality that they can no longer reach. Manipulators lose their power when they realize you no longer don't know what they will do, because they can no longer influence you. When the things that used to bother you no longer affect you, their former power just becomes a whisper. At first, this will confuse them. After all, they used to win with the same games. But if you stand firm, they will gradually realize they are losing control. This won't happen overnight. It requires patience and persistence. But once you succeed, you are no longer a board they can play on. They no longer have power over you, not because you've changed, but because you are no longer the person they expected. Finally, I want to tell you an interesting point. Do you know the 3 types of people narcissists are intolerant of? Narcissists, especially, are intolerant of 3 different types of people and will try to stay away from them. 1. People who represent diversity. The first type of person narcissists can't tolerate is those who represent diversity and variety. Because narcissists struggle to establish empathy, they are unwilling to accept different beliefs, thoughts, and lifestyles. They evaluate people only based on whether they serve their own interests. Accepting diversity requires narcissists to step out of their comfort zones, which is incompatible with their psychological comfort. 2. People who speak the truth. They avoid straightforward people. Narcissists adopt a defensive stance against anyone who threatens their sense of being right and superior. In their view, everything should be shaped around what they believe is true. If someone disagrees with them or points out their mistakes, they take it as a personal attack. For this reason, narcissists dislike people who speak the truth and try to distance themselves from them. People who act with love. The third type of person narcissists can't tolerate are those who are loving. Narcissists have difficulty accepting the power of love because it requires mutual understanding, patience, and respect. They form connections by degrading others and making them dependent on them. Since true love involves freedom, narcissists see it as a threat. So the conclusion is this: if you are one of these three types of people, narcissists may harbor special animosity towards you. But the key question here is, do you want to continue your life with healthy, well-intentioned people, or do you want to remain in the narcissist's toxic world? Remember, true love and inner peace are not found in the limited and intolerant world of narcissists, but in your own compassionate and understanding world. Thank you for watching until the end. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and share your thoughts in the comments. See you again soon.